1. And we're not even going to bring up the super again. Power supply. I love this one. One guy gets out there and goes, it has a transformer. That's old technology. We're not saying it's bad, it's just dated. No, it's the best way to create a steady increase in power. That's why you still see them on the side of the road. You have to ramp up the power to make it stable. They use an SMPS. The SD501 absolutely does. It regulates power flow to make it computer technology safe and stable. The R and the Junior do use a straight transformer to get the most possible energy to work with the larger plates. However, the SD501 has one of the most advanced power supplies available on the market. It has a transformer that increases the power. It has a switch mode power supply that regulates the flow of energy in the plates and heat. It also added in a condenser. And so what happens is you have the power supply, you have the condenser, and they oscillate so that it keeps a very steady, stable power supply to produce the best ionization. If you don't have a condenser and the SMP kicks in, because there's no transformer, it drops way down, ramps back up and down and up and down and up and down. So you get a very irregular that's based on how much heat the plates are. So you don't know if you're getting 230 watts, 530 watts, or 50 watts because your plates are hot and they're burning up. An easy way to test this theory is if you have an SD501, turn it on, pour yourself a glass of 9.5, keep it running and unplug it from the wall. It's going to keep running for a full 10 seconds. Proof positive, there's a condenser. Here's why it's important. The electrolysis power factors come on board. It is watts times amps times surface area equals the PEUs or potential electrolysis units. I recently called a competitor because they had a machine that actually legitimately interested me and I wanted to look at it. And he kicked me out of the website, said I was trolling, called me a good teacher, but said that I was liable for all kinds of things. And then they banned me from ever going on their website. Like that really mattered. I switched computers and logged back in anyways. And what I asked him is, what's the amperage of their machine? Because it looked like it had a good amperage. Most of them don't. Oh well, their loss. Basically, you take 250,000 PEUs to create stable water ionization. That means that when you ionize the water in 10 minutes, it's not regular filtered water. The number one power factor for the SD501 is the transformer ramps it up to 230 watts at 2.5 amps with 623 centimeters of plate surface, gives you 358,225 PEUs. A typical unit right now is 110 watts with 5 plates or 268 centimeters and a half amp. That means that it only has 14,470 PEUs, which is roughly 4% of the power of the SD501. It can't create stable water ionization. So they add calcium, magnesium, potassium to make it alkaline and make the little drops turn purple. Why? It doesn't work, but people want to see purple. That's the problem. And it's really due to the amperage. I see a lot of energy saver units. Read that as underpowered, not enough juice, can't get it done. 1 amp deals with 6.2 times 10 to the 18th power of electrons. What we're trying to do is break bonds and increase the electron energy. The SD501 has 15.7 times 10 to the 18th. The other units with their half amp have 3.2. That's less than 20% of the electron potential. You can ask any electrician. The voltage won't kill you, but the amperage will. Putting it differently, 2 machines of equal power and equal plate size with different amperages will have a completely different PEU. If you had the same power, the same plate, 2.5 amps versus a half amp, you have 500% more energy in the 2.5 amp machine. It's just the way that it works.